What's up, fight fans, fight bananas? Elias Blanco here with the fight bananas, man. Back again with another banger, and today we have a really special one because who I have is a guy who has been making a lot of waves up in Canada, man, and he set the headline, arguably BFL's biggest card to date on January 23rd. Please welcome Mr. Snake Eyes, Radley Da Silva. Radley, how you doing, my man?
Good, bro. Thanks for having me on here.
Hey, man. First and foremost, thank you again for coming on here, man. Great talking to you again, man. You know, big card coming up, man. You're headlining, BFL 82, January 23rd. First card of 2025 for BFL, man. How's it feel?
It's good, man. It's a good position to be in to be able to start the year off for the promotion and start it hopefully with a bang and get the year rolling for them. But yeah, it's a huge card. Lots of championship fights, and to be able to headline that is it's probably the biggest stage to be on. Especially early in the year, everyone's been craving MMA fights because the UFC's taken some time off. So it's a good time definitely to showcase yourself.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We talk about that, man. Five title fights, five title fights, man. And you think about the names: Ali Wazook, Dejan Kadic, man, Navid Zingane, man, Jag Bueller, man, and you're at the top, man. And you're fighting, a really tough opponent, man, in a guy in Drew Brokenshire, man. Someone who has a kind of a pancration style, really well-rounded game. Talk to me about that matchup.
Yeah, it's a great matchup. He's a guy who's very well rounded. He's super experienced. I think that's probably his best thing or his one advantage over me is the experience, right? But as far as just skill wise, he's probably the most skilled opponent I've faced so far, and it's a good test for me exactly at this time in my career. Like it feels like I'm so young in my career. Every fight I get is like it feels like a special thing because it feels like the first time I'm getting that test, right? So right now, this is the first time of me fighting that, grizzled veteran who's been there, done it all, who has the skills. And it really, if I can get a win over him, it'll really show where I'm at, like at an international level, because he's beaten guys who've made it to the UFC. He's fought many guys who've been in the UFC. So if I can get a win over him, an impressive one, that'll kind of show where I'm at and that I am UFC level. So this is a big proving ground fight for me, and I think it's come at the perfect time in my career where I've had, back to back fights and against some pretty good opponents. But this will be a real good test, and I want to come out there and perform with flying colors, or however they say it.
Absolutely, man. And you talk about international, man. Previously when we talked, man, we were talking about, kind of proving the point for Canadian MMA, fighting these, guys that are outside the country, man. This is your third straight, non-Canadian, man, second straight American, man. Are you still continuing trying to prove the point about Canadian MMA?
100%. There's definitely this stigma and that Canadian MMA is washed or whatever it is, but there's definitely a new generation coming up, and we're hoping to get in the UFC and make a good name for ourselves. There's very few fighters right now that are doing it big in the UFC, and quite a bit of them are women. Like if you think about it, but there's a couple males out there, Jourdain, maybe that other dude at 170, but yeah, so it's good to be able to put myself in that position where if I can get a good win here, maybe go to contender series, get in the UFC, and really start making a name for myself and start bringing it back for the west side of Canada.
Yeah, for sure, man. And this past year, 2024, there was a lot of accolades, man. Especially towards the end of the year, you got a lot of major attention on you, a lot of accolades, crowned on you, man. And now you're starting 2025 with a huge card, a lot of big names, man. Do you feel there's a bit more pressure on this fight, ahead of this fight than previous fights?
Personally, I don't. I personally don't feel like there's any extra pressure. Like if there was, I would say it because I'm the kind of guy that performs better under more pressure. Like as you've seen, like I had like what five or four title fights out of my like six, seven fights. So I definitely perform better when I'm under pressure. For a guy who doesn't have much experience. So that extra pressure would help. But personally, I don't feel. I don't know if it's because I'm just been so active that it kind of feels like I'm just doing my thing. But it is in a way if you're looking at it from the outside. But when you're in my shoes and you have bigger goals and you're looking to go in the UFC and do very well and possibly contend for a championship, it doesn't. There's no pressure in this kind of spot for me.
Yeah, man, and with your opponent Drew Brokenshire, man, he previously talked about kind of being on the brink of his career, kind of ending his career sooner or later, man. Have you thought about this when coming up to this fight, or are you just kind of focused on the task ahead?
I've been mostly focused on task ahead, but now that you mention it, I could definitely say something about it. Like, yeah, he's, had a pretty long career. He's been fighting since I don't know, like 2010 or nine or something. Like 50 fights in total, including his amateur and pro career. So in that note, it's more of an honor for me to even would be to be able to, like, have him end his career in a fight with me, and for me to be able to send him off the way that MMA MMA veterans are normally sent off. They have to usually fight the younger lions coming up and give them a chance to go on and do well in their career. So that's kind of what he's doing, and I appreciate that. He's a MMA, he's definitely a real MMA fighter, and he's doing the right thing, and giving the younger guy a chance to build off his name and everything he's done. So yeah, like I said, super honored for that. And I thank him for that, and yeah, hopefully I can give him a good send off.
For sure, man. And last year you originally, you had 4 fights last year, I believe. Originally you were scheduled for 6. Are you looking to try to stay as active as possible this year? Or are you kind of being a little more strategic with the potential opportunity of the UFC Contender Series and towards the later the year?
Yeah, I'll be as busy as I need to be, man. I've like I said, like I've had so much time off already in my career that it's like at this point I'm not really waiting for anyone. I just want to be as active as possible. If I get a call to the Contender Series early in the year, then maybe I'll gear my training camp towards that. But if not, I'm just gonna keep fighting and keep staying busy, keep gaining experience, because every time I get in there, man, I feel so much better, so much more comfortable, and people are gonna start seeing like my real well-roundedness in the fight. So yeah, like even in this fight, I feel like there's no specific area I have to keep it in, and that's good because I can show my full range of MMA. It's been a lot of taking it to one place, taking it there, but I feel like in this fight, I don't necessarily have to take it anywhere specifically. I have an advantage on the feet in the wrestling, but it's just a matter of me putting it together now, and being in that flow state and putting on a performance that I can be proud of and my team can be proud.
Yeah, for sure, man. We talk about the Contender Series too, next month, UFC's coming to Seattle, and that's a big fight. It's not too far from Vancouver, man. If you come out this fight unscathed, man, I don't know what opportunity would be there. Do you take that?
Um, I honestly, I'm not even thinking about it, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie. There's other guys that I think like Lance Gibson Jr. is really pushing for that, and I'm sure he can do well. But I don't even have like a visa for the States. There's so much stuff going behind it. If they asked me, obviously I wouldn't even bat an eye at taking it. But as far as like thinking, oh, there's a car that's just across, just a little drive away, and no, it's still a different country. I would still have to do a lot of paperwork and all that stuff. But if I can, finish cleanly and no damage, and they do offer that, like I wouldn't even bat an eye. I would definitely accept it.
Yeah, bro. I'm just waiting for you to do that post fight interview where you're saying, "I'm kicking to Ilya Topuria's head into the stands." I'm just waiting for that. I'm just waiting for that on the big show, bro. But I talked earlier about accolades, man. One big accolade that you got was being prospect of the year in North America from MMA Prospect. What was the feeling like of winning that award? With the likes of so many other big prospects in arguably the biggest fight continent in the world.
Yeah, it's just an honor. I guess the word prospect is kind of like, slims down that pool of like fighters in North America, because, sometimes certain guys aren't prospects anymore when they have more than like 10, 12 fights at a certain point, or like, a certain age, or like, well, I've only really been fighting for the last like year and a half, 2 years. So I feel like I've kind of fit that pool of that term. So I mean, at the end of the day, it's super like, humbling, and like I'm super honored. So, I could just, I'm just happy. I guess people believe in me now as much as I believe in myself, and yeah, it doesn't hurt. Hopefully, to have those titles. Maybe it puts more eyes on you and whatnot, which is what I'm looking for every time I fight. I want to build more hype, garner more fans, more eyes, and hopefully that gets the attention of the UFC more. So if they're looking at, oh, here, this weekend, one of the top prospects in North America is fighting, maybe they'll tune in and stuff like that. So it definitely, I don't think it hurts fan wise, or my brand at all. So I was super honored and super humbled, and I'm looking forward to holding the torch of starting the year off for the prospects or what have you, and start the year off with a bang.
For sure, man. And I kind of
For
want to read
sure,
you a
man. And I
quote
kind of want
real
to read
quick,
you a
man.
quote real quick,
I
man.
want to read you this quote real
I
quick.
want to read you this quote real quick.
People don't know this
People
guy
don't
is
know this
invisible.
guy.
If you haven't heard the name
If
Radley
you
Da
haven't heard the
Silva,
name Radley
he
Da
will in a
Silva,
year.
will in a
That
year.
is from your
That
buddy
is
Jamie
your
Siraj,
buddy
man.
Jamie
What is it
Siraj,
like,
man. What is it like,
getting those words from him?
getting
From
those
a guy
words
that you're
from
very
him?
close
A
to,
guy
and
that you're very
also
close to,
you
and
fight
also
for your division as
fight
well.
for your division as well.
When was that? Was that a year ago?
That's when no, this is when I interviewed him last
I
month.
interviewed him last month.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, yeah. No, dude, I've known Jamie since we were like young teens, like maybe 14 or whatever. We even did like grappling match inside like MMA events and stuff like that. Just like, we've been knowing each other in the circuit here in Vancouver since we were kids, and just to see, him doing his thing, and now me finally being able to do my thing. It's like it feels like it's finally time for the world to know like how good we are and stuff like that. So yeah, man, it's good. It's awesome because me, him, Achilles, Naveed, like we're just we're not like a huge group, but I think all four of us have a really big chance of taking it international and becoming household names in MMA. So it's crazy to have that brotherhood in there, and those guys put like if I can go into a fight going like this guy will be as good as a wrestler as Naveed, or this guy will be as good as as jujitsu as Jamie, or this guy will be as good as a boxer as Achilles. Like if I can put that all together and put all that weight on my opponent, and then I go in there and they're not as good, then they're screwed because that's who I'm training with every day, and those guys push me so hard. So. That's the kind of level I'm always training with, and those guys would take most dudes out in North America. So, if the people aren't gonna hold up to that standard in the cage, then they're gonna have a problem with me.
Bro, and you talk about
Bro,
Naveed,
and
man.
you
He's
talk about
also on this
Naveed, man.
card,
He's
man,
also
fighting for
on
the
this card,
lightweight
man, fighting
belt,
for the
man.
lightweight
What do you think
belt,
about his
man.
matchup?
What do you
Because
think
he's
about
on the
his
same
matchup? Because
fighting an
he's
American too, kind of
fighting an
trying to
American too,
point.
kind of trying to point.
Yeah, it's a great match. I was actually trying to get that exact same fight, like, or before I had Drew. I was almost had it. I don't know how it fell through, but when I got Drew, and then I guess Jeremy had his fight, and then I guess he was available, and Naveed's been looking for a fight for almost a year now. It's like super hard to get him a fight. No one wants to face like a high caliber wrestler anymore. So yeah, that like anyone who is willing to go there and step in with Naveed, I give them all the props. It's not the best choice, but hey, Jeremy's got some good wins, man. He beat Morgan for the unified belt, so he's got power. He's tough. He's willing. He's game. So that's what you're gonna need if you want to fight a guy like David. But I don't give him much of a chance as far as the grappling and all that. Like it's just Navid's too strong, too good of a wrestler. He's definitely gonna win that. But yeah, good. Hats off to his opponent for being man enough to even take that fight.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And
Yeah,
again,
absolutely,
like
man. And
this
again,
this
like
card is stacked,
this
man. We're
card is
talking
stacked,
five
man. We're talking
title fights.
five
I
title
think this is
fights.
like
I think
BFL's
this is
biggest
like
card to date, man.
BFL's biggest card to date, man.
Bradley, my last question for
Bradley,
you,
my
man.
last
Like,
question for
we've
you,
had
man.
a
We've
really
had
long
a
camp, a
really
hard
long
camp,
camp,
man.
a hard
You
camp, man.
know,
You
at
know,
the end of the tunnel,
at the end of the
there
tunnel,
has to be a go-to
there
meal,
has to
man.
be a
I know
go-to
you're looking
meal,
forward
man.
to
I
the
know you're looking
cheat
forward to
day, to the stuff,
cheat
man.
day, to
Is
the
there
stuff,
anything
man. Is
that
there
you're looking
anything
forward to after the
that you're
fight?
looking forward to after the fight?
Oh, after the fight? Oh man, forget that. Even after the weigh-in, I'm already indulging, dude. After the weigh-ins, man, I already like I'm eating. I'm the kind of guy who I like different things. So I'll literally go to a restaurant that's very like, has a bit of everything, and I'll probably get like a steak, chicken wings, sushi, freaking like I just go all out, man. And then after the fight, I usually go to like a restaurant called Joey's. That's not an advertisement, so yeah, but I usually do go there, and yeah, I'll get like a massive steak, and yeah, it's become kind of a ritual, man. I'll get together with my friends and family. I'll get that new belt, I'll put it on the table, and enjoy myself a nice steak and cheers with my friends and family. And like, that's kind of the ritual that I've been accustomed to for the last bit.
Yo, man, you're gonna come into that fight at 205 with all that steak you're gonna eat, bro.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
it's good. I feel very energetic, so it's definitely gives me I like to really bulk up after the win, and it gives me, I'm the kind of guy that really gets extra energy from food, like a lot of energy. So I need all I can get. Some guys, they eat a little bit here, oh, a clean a pasta or something, or no, man, I need it all.
oh man, hey, that's relatable, man. I'm a big food guy, so I definitely understand, man. But Radley, man, when you defend your PFL featherweight title, on January 23rd, what can fans expect from you?
They can expect beautiful display of human chess, man. Like, I'm the kind of guy that, I'm not in there to brawl and make it look ugly and stuff like that. So if you enjoy real martial arts, if you enjoy flashy things, real show of skills, then I'm your guy. Like, I'm super athletic, explosive, and all that, and I bring a truly well-rounded skill set. So if you want to see a real display of MMA at its highest level, domination, then you're gonna enjoy my fight. Tune in. I'm gonna be putting on a show, defending my belt, holding it down once again for the Canadian MMA scene. And yeah, man, starting the year off right.
Listen, man, I think maybe a year and a half time, man. The development of UFC 6 comes out. I have a feeling that you're gonna be motion capturing for yourself, bro.
Yeah, I always tell them, I'm like, trust me, it's only a matter of time before I'm doing my own stuff here.
Dude, man. But Radley, thank you so much for just taking the time out to talk to me, man. You know, you're starting out the year with a bang, man. I'm looking forward to watching the fight on January 23rd.
Thanks, brother. I just wanted to, do you mind if I give a quick shout out to some sponsors? Because, like, man, this
Absolutely.
camp's been really hard, and some people have really been behind me, been making it possible for me to make it there. So just shout out to my sponsors, Fairfax Partners. They've been with me since, like, you know, for years now, and pushing me, and making sure I get what I need to get into the fight. So shout out to the Fairfax team, CMG Construction, the Vape Father, Easy Bud, Strike Recovery. Those guys have kept me together, my body together for years, and since my first title fight, they've been with me now. So it's been like 4 years or so, and it's meant a lot to have their support. Yeah, just some shout out to some sponsors. Oh, Prado Cafe as well. Guys that are just getting behind me, and at this stage of the game, it's not even like you don't get much from it, from supporting a local fighter. It's just out of the goodness of their heart. So I really wanted to give them a shout out there, and thank them for the support.
Absolutely. And, trust me, that support's going to go a long way when, you reach the big stage, brother.
Yeah, hopefully, man.
All right. Radley, thank you so much for taking the
All right, brother. Appreciate you, man. Hopefully, we'll talk soon after the fight. Let's get together and have another chat.